Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we're making chocolate cobbler. Nothing better than Southern chocolate cobbler right out of the oven. You want to know how to make it? Stick around, I'll show you. Okay, today we're going to make chocolate cobbler. It's kind of a Southern thing. Seen chocolate cobbler made a lot of different ways. This is my favorite way, and it's really about the only way I would even care to eat it. So let's start this, and let's just see what we can make. So what we're going to do first is I've already taken 2 sticks of butter and I've melted them. We're going to put those 2 sticks of butter melted in the bottom of this 9 by 13 dish. Now, the deal with this is we never stir what's inside this. That becomes very important. It's not going to be stirred at all. So our next thing that we have to do is we're going to take 1.5 cups of sugar, 1.5 cups of self-rising flour, ooh, making a mess, and 3/4 cup of milk, and a teaspoon of vanilla. And what we're going to do is we're going to put all this in. And I know I measured that over the bowl because if it spilt and I got just a little bit too much vanilla, that would not necessarily be a bad thing. All right, so now all we're going to do is we're going to whisk this together nicely. It takes just a minute for it to come together. So while I'm doing this, I typically start my oven preheating. So you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And I also need to tell you, there is nothing in this that's good for you. So if you think you're making something that's good for you, you are not. This is bad for you on every scale. So Southern food is not always about good for you. It's about what's delicious, what comforts you. So that's what we're making today. Nice Southern chocolate cobbler. I'm going to slide this over. Let me grab a spatula real fast. And then just take this and pour this over the batter. You're not going to stir it in. You're not going to do anything other than just kind of drizzle it over. There's a whole lot of not stirring going on here. And we're going to just fill this bad boy up. So this thing is butter and sugar. It's going to end up being cocoa, and it's going to be so stinking delicious. You'll wonder how you ever made it through life without having one. So scrape your bowl down, get all that luscious goodness out of there. And remember, we're not stirring, we're not touching, we're not swirling, we're not doing any of that. All we're doing is pouring that over the butter. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to mix 5 tablespoons of cocoa with 1 cup of sugar, and then we're going to sprinkle that over the top. So we're going to put our sugar in and our cocoa in, and then we're just going to basically mix this together. It doesn't have to be spectacular, just do the best you can. Mix it together nice and dry, like this. All right, so that's nice and dry, kind of that consistency. What we're going to do now is we're going to just sprinkle this over the top. Now this is the exciting part because it really doesn't make a difference how much you put. It doesn't have to be super even. I try to go even with it, but you don't have to be, completely even with it. In the process of this particular dish cooking, it forms its own, let's call it crust. It's almost a biscuit-like consistency. And that'll all invert and come up and be absolutely delicious. So the last step before it goes into the oven, we have 1.5 cups of hot water. Doesn't have to be boiling water, it just needs to be pretty hot. And all you're going to do is pour that over the top like this. Just pour that hot water over the top. That's a beautiful thing coming together right there. And all we're going to do now is we're going to put this in the oven. So we're going to open the oven up. stick this bad boy in a 350-degree oven. And that thing's going to cook for about 30 minutes, and I'll show you the results here in just a minute. All right, this has been cooking for about 35 minutes. I want to pull it out now. You know, it says 30 minutes in the recipe, but you really want it to just kind of brown up a little bit. And we're going to pull this beautiful thing out, and we're going to set it right there. And that's what it looks like after about 35 minutes of cooking time at 350. We're going to let it sit here on the table a few minutes and let it cool off. It'll start pulling back in all that buttery goodness and all of that chocolate into the actual crust. The crust is set nicely, and it's going to be delicious. We're coming back in just a second. We're going to take and dip a bowl, and I'll let you see what it looks like. All right, it's cool. Now we're going to get a little bite of it. It's not totally cool yet, but I still like it when it's a little bit warm. So check that out right there, man. That is cobblery, delicious as it can be. Now let's see what it tastes like. I bet it is some count. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Only thing I'm missing, vanilla ice cream. That is some good. I appreciate you joining me today. I hope you make this. I'll have the recipe for you down in the show notes. And if you don't mind, everybody tells you this, I'm going to tell you too. If you don't mind, subscribe, hit like. It helps me kind of ease up in the rankings. Thanks a bunch. Y'all all have a good day.